What's up? It's been a while, right? And new little hairstyle. Just decided to, you know, go completely bald because I'm gonna go ahead and give some little monk wisdom in today's video. Recently, one of my friends, he messaged me on Discord and he said something like, dude, I seriously don't understand how the greats and basically people who have achieved a lot of things, how do they stay so locked in and consistent for such a long time? And he said, what kind of machines do they have to be? And, that just got me thinking about my own sort of fitness journey and how have I stayed consistent for so long in fitness? Because throughout my whole life, I couldn't manage to stay consistent with anything whatsoever. Like years and years back, I would want to go ahead and do these different things. I'll try out different hobbies, I'll try out different like side hustles or something, and I would just always give up. I would literally always give up whenever it got hard, whenever I understood that, like I'm not capable of doing this, I'm too stupid, I don't know, this is too hard, whatever kind of excuses I had, I would just say all of them, right? But with fitness, this is actually something which I've stayed consistent in for a while. I started training back in 2022 and I've kept on training basically since then. Of course, it's been on and off, but for the majority of the time, especially over the span of the last 2 years, I've actually stayed the most consistent I've ever been, in fitness. And, that just got me thinking, why? Why have I stayed so consistent in fitness? Well, I think it's due to many reasons, but I think one of the strongest ones is that like I've made the identity of somebody who goes to the gym, like being like a gym bro or something, because I really cannot picture myself and in my day and in my week where I don't go to the gym. I was actually on holiday to a different country. And even then I was thinking like, okay, like I should still get my workouts in, even though I went ahead and, visited a friend and, he's somebody who also like goes to the gym. He wanted to make that whole trip about just having as much fun as possible and for us to both kind of relax and like do some fun stuff, and of course we did. But going to the gym is fun for me. That's the difference between people who go ahead and can stay consistent in the gym and the people who do stay consistent in the gym is you actually gotta have to learn to have fun in the gym. Like I actually enjoy my workouts. I don't like dread going to the gym. Like it's not like a thing of like, oh man, I gotta go to the gym again today. No, it's like I look forward to it, and even back then I literally like made it so like this big thing in my day. Basically I would train around at like 5 p.m, and when I would wake up I would just constantly be thinking about my workout, about what exercises I'm gonna do. Sorry, what exercises am I gonna do, what kind of like how many sets I'm gonna do, whatever. And you just have to understand that in order to make it easier for yourself, you have to actually enjoy the process. So this is why I actually tell beginners to not even overemphasize about like, oh, which training split should I do? Should I do push-pull legs? Should I do upper lower? A lot of people are saying to do low volume. Should I do low volume? It's like, bro, like if you're a beginner in the gym, especially, like you're gonna basically grow regardless. Okay, I get that you want to go ahead and have the best results you can possibly have and all these things, but really like you just staying consistent in the gym is the number one priority. Like that should be like the biggest thing which you're focusing on, right? Because so many beginners just quit the gym in after like 3 months or so. This is why so many people like sign up for like gym memberships in January, but literally after like 3 4 months they just like I don't know, like 40% of them just stop going to the gym basically. Or even more, maybe like 60% of people just actually stop going to the gym. And another one of those reasons is I just understood that my one of my biggest like whys of going to the gym, I was like pretty clear with myself why I wanted to go to the gym. It wasn't like this vague thing. Even after a few months of working out, I realized that I really did go to the gym, not just like for myself and all this like little cute stuff of like, oh, I just do it because I want to get better at 1% each day, better, whatever. I knew that I wanted to go to the gym because I wanted to go ahead and attract girls. I wanted men to respect me more. I felt as if I were to get jacked, I would actually feel better about myself. People would view me as above, like they would respect me more. I would get better treatment from people. I would get better treatment from my friends, and I would get girls and I'd be happy and all this stuff, whatever they be, right? Whatever kind of reasons they are, I ingrained it into my head that I need to work out. I need to get this physique, basically. And of course, like you can say like this isn't healthy, this is like toxic or something. And maybe it really is. Maybe it really is. But either way, when I'm going to the gym right now, it's because I actually do enjoy it. And I still, of course, care about, building an aesthetic physique. That's what my whole channel is about teaching you guys how to build an aesthetic physique that actually is attractive to women and that you actually feel better about yourself because of your physique, that you don't look like this blocky sort of classic sort of gym bro physique. No, I want you to actually go ahead and be as aesthetic as possible. So, of course, like I started the gym for those reasons, but I continue going to the gym because I enjoy just going to the gym. And I want you to actually go ahead and write down what are your whys. Be like just brutally honest with yourself. I don't know, you can like go ahead and just like think in your own head, or is it best to just like, like take a journal and just go ahead and write down yours? But go ahead and write down the reasons why you started the gym and why you want to go to the gym. What are your reasons for doing so? Okay? And if you're a beginner, you should make it as easy as possible to go ahead and actually go to the gym. Okay? Like you shouldn't overemphasize on like what kind of workout routines, what kind of workouts to do. Oh, should I go on Monday? But I might be a little bit more tired in the afternoon, so it's best if I just go in the morning. Like you shouldn't just stress about it, okay? Pick a time when you're going to the gym, pick the exact same gym, pick a few workout routines and just stick with it. That's basically it, The further you go down like this fitness sort of rabbit hole, you understand that the basics really do make the biggest difference, okay? Of just, training hard, eating good, sleeping good, all that stuff, that's like the top 3 things which actually makes the biggest difference, okay? And another reason why I think so many greats or these people who have achieved a lot of things and they're high achievers is because of the winner's effect. Because, for example, with something like the gym, it's very easy to kind of see that you've been making progress because you get stronger on your lifts. After a few months, you actually go ahead and improve your physique. Like you check yourself out in the mirror and you see that you got bigger biceps now or something. And when you realize that you're actually making progress, that you're basically winning, it is so much easier for you to just stay consistent in the gym because you get this sense of like dopamine. Not the sense of dopamine, but you quite literally get dopamine in your brain and you get even more motivation to keep going, okay? Because so many people, they talk about how, oh, I just don't feel like it, I'll start the gym after school. They just keep delaying it. But you don't understand that when you actually start something and you just go ahead and do it regardless of however you feel, okay? You go to the gym even when you don't feel like it, that momentum actually gives you motivation in a weird way, because you always used to think that like, I need to get motivated to start. No, that's not how it works. When you go ahead and do something, that's going to go ahead and give you motivation to do so, okay? The more videos I post, and especially the videos which I post, I see that they're actually performing pretty good, that gives me more motivation to make more videos, not the other way around of like, oh, I'm not gonna record up until, I feel really good and, I look really nice or whatever, and then I'm gonna post. That's not how it is, okay? The winner's effect is real. This is why so many like top athletes and all that stuff, like basically like this winner's effect is basically the whole like principle of why winners, they just keep winning. Of course, like when you win, you get like so much like dopamine, you get like even like testosterone increase, I'm pretty sure, and you just feel like as if you can't lose. And when you feel like you can't lose, you have this belief in your mind, usually you start training harder, you start eating better, all of these things, right? You basically align your new identity of being a winner into your life. And that's why you go ahead and cannot lose. So this is why I think many people, they actually achieve so many great things. And this is the difference, I think, between the people who don't achieve anything in life and the people who are high achievers. And the biggest thing which is probably holding you back, and no, actually, this is the biggest thing which is holding you back, is that you go ahead and wait for the perfect moment. You go ahead and just do not take action. If you haven't made as much progress in fitness and in overall life, is because of your lack of action, not because you didn't plan well enough or anything. It was because you lack action. You do not take action. And the difference between winners and losers at the end of the day is winners, they just kept taking action regardless of whatever kind of outcome they got.